What if I told you that the most dangerous part of aging isn't getting older? It's believing you're doing the right things while your body quietly gets weaker anyway. Curious. Millions of Americans over 60 are told the same advice year after year: walk more, stay active, keep moving. And yet many still wake up with heavy legs, struggle to rise from a chair, or feel unsteady when they get out of bed in the dark. That silent gap between effort and results is where fear begins to grow. As a surgeon, I see this every day. Patients who did everything right but were never taught which muscles actually keep you independent. The ones that protect you when you stand up at night, steady you when your balance slips, and keep your blood moving while you sleep. Kairos. Walking alone doesn't train those systems. One simple chair-based movement does, and it works better than most people have been led to believe. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact exercise and the supporting movements that orthopedic surgeons quietly rely on to help adults over 60 stay strong, steady, and in control of their future. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. Exercise number 1. Exercise number 1, the seated calf raise, the quiet protector of your circulation and independence. Most people don't worry about their calves until something goes wrong. It usually starts quietly. Your ankles swell by evening. Your legs feel heavy when you stand up from the couch. You catch yourself shifting your weight more often, looking for balance without realizing why. Many adults over 60 assume this is just getting older. Medically speaking, it isn't. It's often the first sign that one of the most important support systems in your body is weakening, and walking alone rarely fixes it. The calf muscles are not just for movement. In older adults, they function as a secondary heart for the lower body. Every time these muscles contract, they squeeze deep veins and help push blood upward against gravity back toward the heart. Physicians call this the venous pump mechanism. When it weakens, blood pools in the lower legs. Over time, this contributes to swelling, fatigue, varicose veins, slower wound healing, and in higher risk individuals, dangerous clots. What many seniors fear most, loss of stability, fear of falling, fear of ending up in the hospital, often begins right here. The seated calf raise is one of the safest and most effective ways to restore this function, especially for adults over 60 who may already have knee, hip, or back concerns. No floor work, no strain on joints, just controlled muscle activation where it matters most. To perform this exercise correctly, sit in a sturdy chair with your back upright and your feet flat on the floor about hip width apart. Your knees should be bent at roughly a right angle. Place your hands on your thighs or the sides of the chair for balance. From this position, slowly press the balls of your feet into the floor and lift your heels as high as you comfortably can. At the top, pause for a full 2 seconds. You should feel a firm tightening in the back of your lower legs. That squeeze is not incidental. It is the signal your body needs to restore circulation efficiency. Now lower your heels slowly back down over 3 to 4 seconds. This controlled lowering phase is critical in older muscle tissue. Slow eccentric contraction is one of the most effective ways to rebuild strength without injury. Avoid dropping your heels quickly. Precision matters more than speed. Start with 12 to 15 repetitions. Rest briefly, then repeat for a second set. As your strength improves, work up to 3 sets. If and only if this becomes easy, you may place a light object, such as a hard cover book, across your thighs to gently increase resistance. This progression is often used in orthopedic rehabilitation because it strengthens without stressing vulnerable joints. Many older adults fear losing independence long before they fear disease. This simple movement helps protect both. Strong calves support balance, reduce leg fatigue, and keep blood moving, especially for those who spend more time sitting, driving, or watching television than they used to. And this is just the beginning, because once circulation improves, the next weakness becomes impossible to ignore: the muscle that decides whether you can stand up on your own or need help. That's where the next exercise comes in. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now let's move on to point number 2, exercise number 2. Exercise number 2, seated knee extensions, the muscle that decides whether you stand alone or need help. There's a quiet moment many people over 60 never talk about. The split second before standing up when you wonder, will my legs actually lift me this time? It might happen getting off the couch, rising from a restaurant booth, or standing up from the toilet late at night. That hesitation isn't weakness of character. It's a warning sign from one specific muscle group that fades faster than almost any other after 60, the quadriceps. Your quadriceps are the large muscles on the front of your thighs. Medically speaking, they are the primary drivers of knee extension, but in real life, they are what allow you to stand, climb stairs, step into a car, and catch yourself if you stumble. When these muscles weaken, independence doesn't disappear overnight. It erodes quietly. People begin using armrests more. They avoid low chairs. They start planning their day around what their legs might not be able to do. This is why seated knee extensions are not optional after 60. They are protective. Unlike walking, which barely challenges the quadriceps on flat ground, this exercise forces the muscle to lift your lower leg against gravity. Exactly the kind of signal aging muscle tissue needs to stay alive and responsive. More importantly, it does so without stressing the joints, making it safe for seniors with arthritis, knee pain, or prior joint surgery. To perform this exercise correctly, sit in a firm chair with your back supported. Place both feet flat on the floor. Grip the sides of the chair lightly for stability, not to pull yourself up, but to stay balanced. Now slowly straighten one leg until your knee is fully extended. Your toes should point toward the ceiling. When your leg is straight, pause for a full 3 seconds and consciously tighten the muscle on the front of your thigh. You should feel a deep, focused effort, not sharp pain, not joint pressure. Then lower your foot back to the floor, slowly, counting to 4 as you descend. That slow return is essential. It trains control, not just strength. Control that prevents falls when your foot meets the ground unexpectedly. Switch legs and repeat. Aim for 10 to 12 repetitions per leg. Rest for about 30 seconds, then complete a second set. As your strength improves, a third set can be added. If the movement ever feels rushed or sloppy, reduce the number of repetitions. Precision matters more than volume. Many seniors tell me this exercise brings back something they didn't realize they'd lost: confidence. Confidence to stand without bracing. Confidence to move without planning every step. Confidence that their legs will respond when they ask them to. And once this muscle begins waking up again, it unlocks the next critical piece of stability. Because strong thighs alone aren't enough if your legs can't lift properly when you walk. That's exactly what we'll address in the next exercise, and it may explain why so many falls happen out of nowhere. Exercise number 3. Exercise number 3, the seated hip march, the silent protector against falls. Most falls don't happen because someone is reckless. They happen because the foot didn't lift high enough. A rug edge, a curb, the bottom stair, the corner of a doorway. Things you've walked past your entire life suddenly become dangerous after 60. Many older adults tell me in a quiet voice, "I didn't trip over anything." And they're right. What failed wasn't the environment. It was the muscle that lifts the leg. Those muscles are called the hip flexors, and they play a far bigger role in independence than most people realize. Every step you take depends on them. Hip flexors lift your thigh so your foot clears the ground. When they weaken, which they often do with age, prolonged sitting, or reduced activity, your stride shortens. Your feet begin to shuffle. Balance becomes less predictable. This is one of the earliest and most overlooked changes leading to falls in older adults living independently across the US. The seated hip march directly targets this problem in a safe, controlled way. To perform this exercise correctly, sit on the front half of a sturdy chair, not leaning back. Place both feet flat on the floor, hip width apart. Sit tall, shoulders relaxed, chest open. Lightly engage your core as if bracing for a gentle cough. This keeps your spine stable. Now, slowly lift your right knee upward toward your chest. You don't need to force it high, only as far as feels comfortable and controlled. Your foot should come fully off the floor. Hold the knee in the raised position for 2 full seconds. You should feel the effort deep in the front of your hip, not in your lower back. Then lower your foot back to the floor slowly and deliberately. Switch legs. That controlled lift and slow return are critical. Swinging the leg or using momentum defeats the purpose. The goal is to retrain your muscles and nervous system to lift the leg with intention, something that quietly diminishes with age. Start with 10 lifts per leg, alternating sides. Rest briefly, then perform a second set. As you build strength and confidence, work up to 20 total repetitions per set. If balance feels uncertain at first, place your hands lightly on the sides of the chair for support. This is not a sign of weakness, it's a smart adjustment. From a medical perspective, stronger hip flexors improve walking mechanics, reduce shuffling, and significantly lower fall risk. But emotionally, this exercise does something just as important. It restores trust. Trust that your feet will clear the step. Trust that your body will respond when you need it to. Trust that a single misstep won't change your life overnight. Many seniors tell me this is the exercise that makes walking feel normal again. And yet, even strong legs can't fully protect you if your upper body is collapsing forward, because posture and pulling strength play a role in balance too. The next exercise addresses exactly that, and it's one most people never think to train. If you're still watching and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. Now, let's keep going with point number 4. Exercise number 4, seated resistance. Band rows, the strength that keeps you upright and breathing free. One day it's a stiff neck, another day it's shortness of breath walking to the mailbox. Then someone takes a photo of you from the side, and you barely recognize your posture. For many adults over 60, the quiet fear isn't pain. It's the sense that their body is slowly folding forward, as if gravity is winning a battle they never agreed to fight. What few people realize is that this change is not inevitable. It's often the result of one neglected area, the muscles of the upper back. These muscles, your mid-back, shoulder stabilizers, and upper spine supporters, are responsible for keeping your chest open, your shoulders back, and your lungs unrestricted. When they weaken, posture collapses, the rib cage compresses, breathing becomes shallower, balance shifts forward. Many older Americans assume this is just getting older, but medically speaking, it's a correctable loss of strength. The seated resistance band row is one of the safest and most powerful ways to reverse this process. To perform this exercise, sit in a sturdy chair with both feet flat on the floor about hip width apart. Loop a resistance band around the soles of your feet and hold one end in each hand. Sit tall, not rigid, but upright. Imagine your spine lengthening upward. Extend your arms forward so the band has light tension. Your palms can face each other or downward, whichever feels more comfortable. Now begin the movement by pulling your elbows back toward your sides. As you pull, focus on squeezing your shoulder blades together as if you were gently pinching something between them. Your hands should travel toward your rib cage, not your shoulders. Keep your chest lifted and your neck relaxed. No shrugging. Hold the pulled back position for a full 2 seconds. This pause is critical. It's where the muscles that support posture and breathing wake back up. Then slowly extend your arms forward again, taking 3 to 4 seconds to return to the start. Control the movement. Never let the band snap you forward. Aim for 12 to 15 repetitions. Rest for about 45 seconds. Then perform a second set. If your posture feels stable and your shoulders feel good, a third set can be added. The resistance level should feel challenging by the last few repetitions, but never painful. If it's too easy, use a thicker band or shorten the band slightly. From a medical standpoint, strong back muscles act like guide wires for your spine. They reduce strain on the neck, improve lung expansion, decrease shoulder pain, and lower fall risk by keeping your center of gravity aligned. Emotionally, this exercise restores something deeper, the feeling of standing tall again, of taking up space without discomfort or fear. Many seniors tell me this is the exercise that makes them feel open again, less hunched, less tired, more confident in their own body. And yet, Even perfect posture and balance aren't enough because the final exercise determines whether you can rise from a chair on your own or someday need help doing it. Exercise number 5. The exercise number 5, sit to stand, the movement that predicts your independence. There is one everyday movement that quietly reveals more about your future than almost any medical test. It's not how far you can walk. It's not how flexible you are. It's this simple question: can you rise from a chair without hesitation, without using your hands, and without fear? For many adults over 60, that moment carries a weight they rarely talk about, because once standing up becomes uncertain, everything else in life starts to feel fragile. From a medical standpoint, the sit-o-stand is not just an exercise. It is a functional survival movement. It uses nearly every major muscle group that keeps you independent. The quadriceps straighten the knees, the glutes extend the hips, the calves stabilize the ankles, the core keeps you balanced, and the back muscles hold your spine upright. When even one of these systems weakens, the body compensates, often poorly. That's when people begin to rely on armrest, countertops, or other people. And emotionally, that's when fear begins to replace confidence. The sit-o-stand trains your body to resist that decline. To perform it correctly, start with a firm chair, something stable, not a soft recliner. Sit with your feet flat on the floor, slightly wider than hip width apart. Your toes should point forward. Scoot your hips toward the front edge of the seat. Cross your arms over your chest. This prevents using your hands to cheat. Now lean your torso slightly forward, just enough to bring your weight over your feet. Press through your heels and stand up smoothly until your hips and knees are fully extended. At the top, pause for 1 second. This pause is important. It teaches your nervous system control and balance. Then begin lowering yourself back down slowly, taking a full 4 seconds to return to the chair. Lightly touch the seat and immediately stand again. Do not collapse or drop into the chair. That slow descent is where bones and muscles receive the strongest signal to stay dense and strong. Start with 8 to 10 repetitions. Rest for about a minute. Perform a second set. As strength improves, work toward 3 sets of 12 to 15 repetitions. If standing feels difficult at first, using a slightly higher chair or placing a cushion on the seat is acceptable. Progress matters more than perfection. Medically, this exercise is powerful because it applies mechanical load to the hips and thighs. Exactly where bone density is most likely to decline with age. Stronger muscles also protect joints and reduce fall severity. Emotionally, it restores something deeper, the belief that your body will still respond when you need it to. Many seniors tell me this is the exercise that changes how they see themselves. Not fragile, not slowing down, but capable. And now that you understand why this one movement matters so much, the final step is seeing how all 5 exercises fit together and how just a few minutes a week can shape the next 5 to 10 years of your independence. Strength is not about age, it's about preparation. Aging doesn't usually announce itself with a sudden illness. For most people over 60, it arrives quietly through smaller signs that are easy to dismiss. Legs feel heavier at night. Balance feels less certain when you get up half asleep. Standing from a chair takes a little more effort than it used to. These moments don't feel dramatic, but medically they matter. They are signals that the body is becoming more fragile, especially during the most vulnerable hours when you're tired, distracted, or asleep. What many older adults don't realize is that the greatest risks don't happen during exercise or even during the day. They happen at night, getting up to use the bathroom, walking in low light, standing quickly after lying down. This is when weak legs, poor circulation, and slow muscle response combine into falls, fractures, and injuries that can permanently change a life. These events often aren't caused by bad luck. They're caused by muscles that were never trained to protect you. The 5 chair exercises you've just learned are not about working out. They are about teaching your body how to support you when you need it most. Strong calves keep blood moving and legs responsive. Strong thighs help you rise without hesitation. Strong hips lift your feet so you don't trip. A strong back keeps you upright and breathing fully. And the ability to stand up from a chair again and again may be the clearest signal that you are still in control of your body. What matters most is not doing everything perfectly, but understanding this truth. Aging bodies don't fail because they're old. They fail because they stop receiving the right signals. When muscles aren't challenged, they disappear. When balance isn't practiced, it fades. When movement is avoided out of fear, risk increases instead of decreases. If you begin applying these exercises consistently, just 15 minutes a few times per week, your next 1 to 5 years can look very different. Not just fewer aches, but more confidence. Not just better strength, but safer nights. Stairs feel manageable again. Chairs feel less intimidating. Sleep feels more restful because your body knows it can respond when called upon. The goal isn't to avoid aging. That's impossible. The goal is to age prepared. Understand your body, adjust what no longer works, and take active steps, small, intentional ones, to protect your independence before it's tested, because the strongest position at any age isn't standing tall. It's knowing you can stand up whenever you need to. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.